We've not heard much from Boyzone recently. What have you been doing?
We just finished our tour here in England, which was a very successful tour. We sold out to 24 arenas and about 30 city halls or so. And we've also been recording our second album. We haven't had a lot of time to do TVs and magazines and stuff like that, so that's why people think we've been so quiet.
Have you had much time off?
Our schedule has been so hectic in the last 3 years that we forgot what having time off was all about. Our time off was always together anyway because we wouldn't be at home. It's a bit different for me and Mick now because we've got some children, like we've got kids now, and we miss them quite a lot on the road. It's quite hard when you kind of bond with a baby and then you have to leave it all of a sudden and stuff. That's quite hard, but you know, we're coming to terms with that at the moment, and it's working out all right for us, thank God.
How has being in the band changed your lives?
We don't come from rich families back home, you know. We come from working class families, and we've been given the chance and the opportunities to see the world because we wouldn't have seen it otherwise.
Do you have any regrets about the last couple of years?
We were thrown straight into the deep end when we began all of this. Our success kind of happened so fast for us, you know, and we were living in London and we were traipsing all around Europe and everywhere, and it was just all a bit too much at the time, so we were quite homesick, and it took us a while to get used to it all.
I used to get homesick a lot, but now it's kind of like, get me away.
There was many nights that we were doing promotion in London, and we might have finished in the evening at 5 and start the next morning at 7.
He was gone.
And he was gone for a few hours and back. He used to go all the time. You know, go to the airport, £250 a ticket just to go home for a few hours, like, and back home.
Are you keen to start touring again?
We've got a lot of friends. We made a lot of friends out in the countries that we went out to, and looking forward to getting back.
How is A Different Beat different from the first album?
Basically, it's a lot more mature. It's over 2 years ago since we started recording our first album. And at the age we're at the moment, you grow up an awful lot in 2 years, first of all, but at the age we're at, you know. So we were a lot more mature going into the second album.
Who have you worked with on this album then?
We recorded with some different producers. We went over to America and we worked with a guy called Rick Wakes. It was really good. He produced a lot of other people.
Annie Lennox, Celine Dion, Mariah Carey,
Diana King,
Tina Carroll.
Then Ronan worked with a guy called, two producers called Harry and Cornwall. Then we worked with our old producer, Ray Hedges.
Well, Ray's been with us from the start since Love Me For A Reason.
Well, we had more input on and what we wanted to go onto the tracks, a lot more involvement.
Proud feeling when you hear the finished product.
Tell us a bit about the title track, A Different Beat.
The song A Different Beat that we performed on our latest tour in England, it's a song about pretty much where we've been, where we've gone to, and places in the world. It's a kind of a different sounding song to most of Boyzone tracks.
We wanted the idea of a big song, a song that the audience could relate to and sing back to and do actions, and this sort of kind of big feel, kind of an anthem, so to speak, for Boyzone.
Beautiful song. It means a lot to me, and I know to the rest of the lads. You know, it's very important. It comes from the heart. I mean, when we wrote it, it came right from the heart. You know, and it's brilliant performing on stage.
And what about She Moves Through the Fair?
She Moves Through the Fair is it's about 100 odd years old. And it was a lot of fun. It was a very hard song to sing, very, very hard, because it's sung in an old type of way, in the Celtic vibe. And it turned out pretty well. Beautiful music, beautiful orchestra on it, real violins, real the whole lot. And we did it on the show, and everybody seemed to really, really like it. It went down really well, so we put it on the album. We actually did the backing vocals ourselves, and it's a really strange vocal for us guys to do. You know what I mean? We usually do our backing vocals, but not to this extent. And it was it was a good laugh.
Are you proud of being Irish?
It's very important to us that we are from Ireland, you know, because for Boyzone, we're the first kind of pop group as such ever to come out of Ireland, and I don't think if we had been maybe from Britain or Europe, we would have been as successful as we are.
Why did you decide to record a cover version of Words?
The first track that we're releasing from the album is an old Bee Gees track called Words. It reached up to number 8 in the charts in 1968. It was just, I don't know, just a song that we had heard and played about with. Decided to record, like during the recording of the album, we threw it in there and just got it done, and it just sounded really, really good. So we thought it'd be a good idea to go with it for the first single.
And would you say the album is all you wanted it to be?
It's a lot more mature album. There's more kind of growth there, you know.
Yeah, it's a proud feeling. Proud to be in Boyzone, working with the other boys, definitely. It's, as we say, it was like a family, the five of us, and we've come a long way together, all together, and for us to get to this level now, it feels good.